So Jason Peters still thinks he has something left in the tank. No, you don't. So Eagles left tackle Jason Peters doing the interview on NFL Network admitted that he doesn't have a whole lot left in the tank, but he does believe he has something left in the tank when it comes to his NFL career. He spoke on NFL Network talking about how he wants to continue to play a little bit longer, and that he feels like he can be a good mentor for the younger guys, teach them teach them how to play the game of football. He was speaking, talking about how, like I said, wants to continue his career and be a mentor to the younger guys. And the way I look at this, man, Jason Peters, it's time to hang him up, bro. It's time to hang him up. You've had a great career. You're one of the greatest Philadelphia Eagles ever. You will be known as one of the greatest Philadelphia Eagles ever. Future Hall of Famer. Got nothing but love for you, Jason Peters. Thank you for everything that you've done for this team. But it's time for the Eagles to move on, because at this point, Jason Peters is more of a liability than he is a help. Now, don't get me wrong; he will be a great mentor to these younger guys. He teaching them the game of football. He would be great, which is why I could definitely see him being a coach one day. Who knows? Maybe the Eagles could bring him back to be offensive line, help with the offensive line as a coach. But as a player, Jason Peters, man, it's just time to hang it up. There's nothing left for you to do. You are in my opinion, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think you will definitely go into the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it. You will definitely, of course, go into the Eagles Hall of Fame, no doubt about it. One of the greatest Eagles to ever play the game. One of the best left tackles, if not the best left tackle, to ever play the game of football. You are a legend. But I feel like continuing to play at this stage of your career, I just feel like you're doing more damage to your career. You're doing more damage to your legacy. Each season you come back, there's not much left in that tank at all, if there's anything at this point. The constant injuries, constantly injured, the constant false starts that you have caused us. You're more of a liability at this point. You're taking up a roster spot from a young talent, a young player, and you're taking up salary cap because you're not cheap. You don't come cheap, so you're taking up salary from a team that is in cap hell right now. The Eagles right now are in cap hell. They are making moves right now to try to get under the salary cap. So bringing back old aging veterans, that has to stop. If this team is going to get better, if they're going to build a team for the future, then guys like Jason Peters have to go. That's just the reality of it. Love Jason Peters. Appreciate everything that he's done for this team. I would love to bring him back as a coach. But as a player, it's time to hang it up, Jason Peters. It's time to hang it up. And if he refuses to retire, then just let him test free agency and don't bring him back. Because just like we saw last year, the Eagles let him walk. He went out there. He actually did get some offers. If I'm not mistaken, he did get some consideration at least for some other teams. But ultimately, he decided not to sign anybody, and the Eagles ultimately brought him back. This year, no. This year, do not do that. Eagle fans, we should be preparing ourselves for a rebuilding process here, because at the end of the day, that's what we're in. We're in the rebuilding process. But bringing back old aging veterans like Jason Peters as active players on the roster, that just slows down our rebuilding process. So, love you, Jason Peters, man. Love what you've done for this team. You are a multiple time Pro Bowler, All Pro, future Hall of Famer. You have a Super Bowl championship. Just go ahead and hang it up and enjoy life. Go ahead and hang up the boots and enjoy the rest of your life. Maybe, if you want to stay in the game of football, if it, rather it be going to work as an analyst somewhere or possibly being a coach, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But as a player, it's time for the Eagles to move on. I used to be one of the biggest supporters of bringing Jason Peters back. In the past, there were there were Eagle content makers who were saying that it's time to move on for Jason Peters. I was saying no, not quite yet. But at this point now, we're talking about 2021. When Eagle content creators, some of them back in 2016, 17 were saying it was time to move on from Jason Peters. Back then, I was saying no. But now in 2021, yeah, it's time to walk away, Peters. You probably should have walked away after 2017. To be honest with you, the injuries, the false starts, you're just more of a liability for this team at this point than you are a help. You could definitely be valuable in coaching. Like I said, I would love for the Eagles to hire him as a coach. I would love that. That way he can be a great mentor for these young guys. He can teach these young guys. I'm perfectly fine with that. But as a player, active player on the roster, no. Enjoy your life, Jason Peters. I have nothing but love and respect for you, but your playing days should have been over a couple years ago. At this point, you're just collecting the paycheck, spending most of your time on injury reserve, and causes us a lot of penalty yards. That's just the facts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I had to come on here and make that video after I saw Jason Peters' interview. He still wants to play, and I get it. Before I wrap this up, I get it. When you've been doing something your whole life, man, sometimes it's hard to walk away from it. When you've been doing something your whole life, you've been one of the very best at it, if not the best at your respective position. You've been doing it your whole life. Sometimes it's hard to walk away. But right now, it's time. It's time. It's time, Jason Peters. It's time to walk away. That's all I gotta say. I'm out of here.